Next up, we have Stefan.
I'm worried.
Since I even started looking at US when moving to Cleveland 3 years ago, I knew that I wanted to be an Anderson Scholar in entrepreneurship. Always having an interest in business, as my dad and grandfather on my mom's side were both business owners, I found a way to apply to the program entering US as a sophomore by doing the application during my freshman year at my old school in Toledo, even though most people that join this program have to apply as a freshman at US. Since then, my experiences in the Anderson Scholar program has definitely satisfied my interest in business. Overall, I've always been interested in many different parts of the field that we know as business, and this program has given me a perspective on each part of it and has shown me if I would ever be interested in doing it as a real job in the future. Things like the stock market challenge have given me a taste of what it would be like to work on Wall Street, something I've always thought about. The experience of combining math with current events and even psychology and thinking about how people think about the value of certain companies and how the market is doing has always been a unique mix that has drawn me towards a possible job in the field. And the requirement for the stock market challenge has always drawn me to do it again and again. And after that, I didn't even do it for the requirement anymore. I just simply enjoy doing it. So this program gave me a unique way to see what it would be like to work in the area. The ad sales project that Don mentioned earlier for the Young Entrepreneur Fair was another thing that started off as a requirement, but I ended up truly enjoying at the end. It showed me what it would be like to get sponsorships for events, and it's taught me valuable skills on how to find the usually well-hidden email addresses of high-ranking employees at companies and to be more comfortable reaching out from absolutely nowhere with a random email. This experience ultimately helped me a lot in the future. With another project of mine, the hackathon that I organized this last November, where I needed to email over 100 different people individually, asking them if their company would want to sponsor the extremely expensive event. I used many of the same tactics and lessons I learned from the ad sales in this exact same situation. Being comfortable reaching out to random people, finding the emails of high-ranking employees that actually have some sort of power over their budget, and most importantly, forming different tiers with different benefits that the company could choose from. With the ad sales program, they could buy varying sizes of ads in the booklet for the event and therefore indicate their support level. With the hackathon, different levels of sponsorship gave different levels of exposure for their company, whether it was on the t-shirt, banner, or website. Overall, I learned a lot from this experience, and what I can say in general about this program is that while it might start off as like a way to satisfy your requirement, at the end of the day, you learn lots of valuable lessons and that you can apply to other things in your life. Next, the speaker events are always interesting and allow me to see the various ways my career could end up in business and allows me to ask a lot of questions to the very, very open people that they bring in. Overall, the high resumes of the people we are able to bring into the school allows me to get the best information possible and makes it easier to see what they all did in common that made them all so successful. However, the most valuable thing to me throughout this process has been the creative aspects related to product design. The other interest of mine besides business in general has always been engineering. My dad and both my grandfathers were engineers, and so because of that, I've been exposed to it from a very young age, working on countless projects between like building, working on my dad's Porsche, like he's been working on that, and that's been interesting to learn about. I've also done lots of like circuit board work and like soldering and just learning about that from a young age. So I've always been interested in that field. I've never really been able to choose between engineering and business, but the Anderson Scholar Program handled and recognized their natural connection very well. Being able to have so many different opportunities to use engineering to create a product and then using business knowledge to pitch it and think of it in the context of the whole market has been very fun and valuable, proving that after all, this is something that I would truly be interested in doing and that I don't have to choose just one. Between the Entrepreneur Cup, the Business Cup, and the various other competitions that they encourage us to enter, both within the school and nationally, I've had many attempts and have gained lots of knowledge in the area through my own experiences. Working with Mr. Heath during microeconomics on my idea of BioBottle, which uses wood-based materials as a bottling replacement to reduce pollution as a byproduct of manufacturing and disposal of non-biodegradable plastic packaging. I've learned a lot about product design and at the same time how I can frame that in the business world. He taught me lots about making an engaging and informative pitch deck, my possible next steps, how to think about market value, what I would do with invested money, and how to pitch the idea in general. I've had lots of fun making pitch videos and different pitch decks, using different websites and messing around with all the graphics to make the presentation as appealing as possible. He also taught me a lot about writing executive summaries and generally thinking about the engineering parts of the idea as well to make it an actual viable product that could be actually created in the real world. The Morgan apprenticeship opportunity gave me a great experience working at North Coast Angel Fund as well as Dom. And once again gave me lots of great insight into what it would be like to have that job, as I got to sit in on confidential meetings where accomplished business people discussed whether a company was viable or not, between due diligence meetings and screening meetings. As a big part of this company was that they bring in a few companies every single month. They'd have their most accomplished business people that have lots of experience in that company's field come and watch their presentation, and then after that person left, they'd have lots of discussions about what they liked about the company and what they didn't, and I feel like I learned a lot between these different meetings. My favorite experience from these past few years is definitely going to be my microeconomics class with Mr. Heath, specifically whenever someone asks a question in class. Oftentimes, someone will ask him a question about a topic we're learning about at the time, and he always would answer it by giving a long story about a relevant experience he has had in his life that is always both interesting while somehow perfectly answering the question at the same time. His eventful and interesting life, along with his ability to make any story sound interesting and funny, was always the best part of my school day sophomore year. Overall, I'm very glad I joined this program. Between the various speakers, opportunities to see what parts of business I would truly like to work in later in life, and the valuable experiences I've gained between competitions and classes has definitely been worth doing. Thank you.
How come I'm not hearing it anymore?
Because he stopped talking because he's done.
No, how come I'm not hearing the other people speak?
Does no one said anything?
No, I think people.
They're both on mute.
I think someone's live. Oh yeah, she's talking.
After hearing about the Anderson Scholars Program my freshman year,
What
I
just
applied
happened?
because I wanted to explore business on a deeper level.